Brothers, let me tell you something that most people will never understand, and frankly, they don't deserve to. A Sigma male's patience isn't weakness. It's not passivity. It's not your typical nice guy tolerance that gets walked all over. No, a Sigma's patience is perhaps the most dangerous weapon in his arsenal, and when you test it, you're essentially playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded chamber. I've been studying and living the Sigma mindset for over a decade, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that the moment someone mistakes our strategic patience for weakness, they've already sealed their fate. They just don't know it yet. You see, while alpha males explode immediately and beta males crumble under pressure, we Sigma males operate on a completely different frequency. We watch, we calculate. We store every single transgression in our mental database, and when the time is right, when the moment presents the perfect opportunity, we strike with surgical precision that leaves our opponents wondering what the hell just happened. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why testing a Sigma male's patience is the single worst mistake anyone can make. We'll explore the psychological warfare that unfolds, the strategic mindset behind our restraint, and most importantly, how this patience becomes the ultimate tool for total domination. If you're a Sigma male watching this, you'll finally understand the true power you've been wielding without even realizing it. And if you're someone who's been testing a Sigma's patience, well, consider this your final warning. But before we dive deep into this psychological masterpiece, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because this channel is your headquarters for authentic Sigma male wisdom that you won't find anywhere else. We don't sugarcoat, we don't follow trends, and we definitely don't cater to the weak-minded. We deliver pure, unfiltered Sigma intelligence that will transform how you operate in this world. Bloco 2-1. The silent storm building within. Let me paint you a picture that every true Sigma male will instantly recognize. You're in a meeting, and some arrogant alpha is talking over you for the third time. Or maybe you're dealing with a manipulative colleague who thinks they can play mind games with you. Perhaps it's a friend who's been taking advantage of your generosity, thinking you're too nice to do anything about it. Here's what's happening in that moment that they can't see. While they're running their mouth, thinking they've won some petty victory, you're doing something far more sophisticated. You're building a storm. Not the chaotic emotional tornado that alphas create when their ego gets bruised. Not the pathetic whimpering that betas resort to when they feel overwhelmed. No, you're constructing something far more dangerous, a calculated strategic storm that will reshape the entire landscape when it finally arrives. This is the first critical element that people fundamentally misunderstand about Sigma males. They see our silence and interpret it as acceptance. They witness our restraint and mistake it for weakness. What they don't realize is that every single moment of their disrespect is being catalogued, analyzed, and filed away in our mental war room. Let me break down exactly what's happening in a Sigma's mind during these moments of apparent tolerance. The documentation phase. Every slight, every interruption, every moment of disrespect gets recorded with photographic precision. We're not just remembering what happened, we're analyzing the psychology behind it, identifying patterns, and building a comprehensive profile of exactly who we're dealing with. The strategic assessment. While they're talking, we're calculating. What are their weaknesses? What do they value most? What would hurt them the most effectively? We're not thinking about petty revenge. We're architecting complete psychological dominance. The timing evaluation. This is where Sigma intelligence truly shines. We're not just planning what to do. We're determining exactly when to do it for maximum impact. Sometimes that's immediately, but more often it's when they least expect it and when they have the most to lose. The resource allocation. Every interaction becomes data. We're mentally cataloging their relationships, their insecurities, their pressure points, and their dependencies. This isn't malicious. It's simply how a strategic mind operates. Here's a real-world example that perfectly illustrates this principle. I once worked with a department head who had a habit of stealing credit for other people's work. For months, I watched him take ideas from team meetings and present them to upper management as his own innovations. The entire team was frustrated, but they either confronted him directly and got shut down, or complained behind his back, which accomplished nothing. My approach, pure Sigma strategy. For 6 months, I documented every single instance. I saved emails, recorded meeting times, and quietly gathered witnesses. But here's the crucial part. I didn't just collect evidence of his theft. I studied his patterns, identified his biggest upcoming presentation to the board, and discovered his desperate need to impress the new CEO who had recently joined the company. When the moment was perfect, literally the day before his major presentation, where he planned to use 3 of my strategies as his own, I sent a comprehensive email to the entire leadership team. Not an emotional rant, not a desperate plea for justice. A clinical, professional documentation of the pattern, complete with timestamps, witnesses, and irrefutable evidence. The result? He wasn't just exposed for that one incident. The leadership team began questioning everything he had ever claimed credit for. His reputation was permanently destroyed. He was removed from his position within 2 weeks, and the new CEO personally thanked me for maintaining such high standards of integrity. That's the power of the silent storm. While everyone else was either exploding in frustration or accepting the abuse, I was building something that would completely reshape the power dynamic. The psychological advantage of strategic silence. What makes this approach so devastatingly effective is the psychological advantage it creates. When you don't react immediately, several powerful dynamics begin working in your favor. Overconfidence, induction. Your apparent passivity makes them increasingly bold. They start taking bigger risks, making larger mistakes, and exposing more of their true nature. Essentially, they dig their own grave deeper with every interaction. Lowered defenses. Because they don't perceive you as a threat, they become careless around you. They reveal information they would never share with someone they considered dangerous. They make themselves vulnerable in ways they would never do with an alpha they respected. Momentum building. Each instance of their disrespect creates more ammunition for your eventual response. Instead of wasting energy on small skirmishes, you're building toward one decisive victory that settles everything permanently. Moral high ground. When you finally respond, you're not the aggressor. You're the person who tried everything reasonable before being forced to defend yourself. This positioning is crucial for maintaining respect from observers and avoiding any backlash. The beauty of this approach lies in its inevitability. They literally cannot win once you've decided to engage this strategy. They either continue their disrespectful behavior, giving you more ammunition, or they back down, acknowledging your dominance. Either way, you've established your position without ever having to resort to the crude tactics that alphas rely on. The energy conservation principle. Here's another element that makes the Sigma approach superior. Energy efficiency. While alphas are exhausting themselves in constant power struggles and betas are burning out from emotional stress, we're operating at optimal efficiency. Every ounce of energy that we don't waste on immediate reactions gets channeled into strategic planning. We're like a nuclear reactor building up power while our opponents are like firecrackers, lots of noise and flash, but no lasting impact. This energy conservation allows us to maintain clarity of thought when the crucial moment arrives. We're not operating from emotion or desperation. We're executing a plan that we've had time to perfect, refine, and optimize for maximum effectiveness. The ripple effect. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of the silent storm strategy is its ripple effect. When you finally demonstrate your true capabilities, it doesn't just affect your immediate target. Everyone who witnessed your patience suddenly realizes they completely misjudged your nature. Word spreads, reputations shift. People begin to understand that behind your quiet exterior lies a strategic mind that they definitely don't want to test. This creates a protective barrier around you that prevents future incidents, while establishing respect that alphas have to constantly fight to maintain. The silent storm isn't just a reaction to disrespect. It's a complete paradigm shift that establishes your dominance in every future interaction. 2. Psychological warfare through strategic restraint. Here's what separates Sigma males from everyone else. We understand that the mind is the ultimate battlefield, and patience is our nuclear weapon. While alphas are throwing tantrums and betas are submitting, we're conducting psychological warfare that would make military strategists envious. The manipulation reversal. When someone tries to disrespect you, they expect a predictable reaction. Alphas explode, betas submit, but sigmas, we reverse the entire game. By not giving them the reaction they crave, we force them into psychological confusion. They escalate desperately, revealing their true nature with every move, while unknowingly building the case for their own destruction. The anxiety transfer. Here's a principle most people never grasp. When you remain calm while someone tries to provoke you, their anxiety transfers to them. They become uncomfortable with your composure, questioning whether they're making a terrible mistake. I've watched grown men who thought they were intimidating me become nervous wrecks simply because I refused to give them the fear response they desperately needed. Real-world example. A contractor tried overcharging me by 40% after we'd agreed on a price. Instead of arguing, I said, "Let me review this." 2 weeks later, I called back with evidence of his predatory pricing pattern, licensing issues, and previous client complaints. He didn't just honor the original price, he offered an additional 10% discount to avoid the consequences. The fear factor. The most devastating aspect of our approach is the fear it creates. When people realize they can't read you, predict you, or manipulate you, they become genuinely afraid. This isn't fear based on intimidation, it's the recognition that they're dealing with someone operating on a completely different level of intelligence and control. That fear becomes your greatest asset, ensuring future interactions happen entirely on your terms. 3. The art of calculating every move. While everyone else is playing checkers, Sigma males are playing 4D chess. Every interaction, every response, every moment of silence is a calculated move toward total domination. The strategic mind. When someone disrespects us, our brain immediately shifts into calculation mode. We're not thinking about revenge. We're architecting victory. Every variable gets analyzed: timing, leverage, consequences, and maximum impact. Most people react from emotion. We respond from pure strategy. The pattern recognition Sigma males are pattern masters. We see the bigger picture while others focus on individual incidents. That rude colleague, we've already identified their weakness, mapped their relationships, and calculated exactly when they'll be most vulnerable. Real-world calculation. A business partner tried to exclude me from a major deal after I'd done the groundwork. Instead of confronting him immediately, I calculated 3 moves ahead. I knew he needed my technical expertise for the final presentation. I waited until 48 hours before the deadline, then calmly informed him I was unavailable due to scheduling conflicts. He had no choice but to offer me equal partnership or watch the deal collapse. The timing master alphas strike when they're angry. Betas never strike at all. Sigmas strike when victory is mathematically guaranteed. We understand that timing isn't just important, it's everything. The right move at the wrong time is worthless. The perfect move at the perfect moment is unstoppable. The resource assessment. Before we make any move, we calculate our resources versus theirs. What do we have that they need? What do they value most? Where are they weakest when pressure is applied? This isn't just thinking ahead, it's thinking around, above, and through every possible scenario until victory becomes inevitable. The efficiency principle. Why waste energy on 10 small battles when one perfectly calculated strike can win the entire war? Sigma males understand that efficiency multiplies power. Every move we make serves multiple purposes, creating cascading effects that reshape entire situations in our favor. The art of calculation isn't just about being smart. It's about being so strategically superior that our opponents defeat themselves trying to figure out our next move. 4. When patience transforms into precision. There comes a moment in every Sigma's journey when patience stops being defense and becomes offense. This transformation is where legends are born. The precision strike. When a Sigma finally acts, it's not an explosion, it's a surgical strike. Every word calculated, every move deliberate, every consequence anticipated. We don't just hit our target, we obliterate it with mathematical precision. The perfect moment alphas act when they're emotional. Sigmas act when victory is guaranteed. We wait for that golden moment when our opponent is most vulnerable, most exposed, most confident in their false sense of security. Real-world precision. A manager spent months undermining my work, thinking I was too passive to respond. I waited until the week of his performance review, then presented documented evidence of his incompetence to his supervisor. Not angry accusations, clinical facts with timestamps. He was demoted within days. The transformation process. Patience builds pressure, strategy creates opportunity, precision delivers devastation. This isn't about revenge, it's about justice executed with flawless timing and overwhelming evidence. The shock factor. When we finally strike, the impact is seismic. People who thought they knew us suddenly realize they were dealing with someone far more dangerous than they imagined. The quiet observer becomes the decisive executor. The aftermath. After a precision strike, everything changes. Respect replaces disrespect. Fear replaces confidence. Our reputation transforms from easy target to untouchable force. This transformation is permanent because it's based on demonstrated capability, not empty threats. When patience becomes precision, the Sigma doesn't just win the battle. We rewrite the rules of the entire war. 5. The devastating counterattack strategy. This is where Sigma males separate themselves from every other personality type on the planet. Our counterattacks aren't just responses. They're complete systematic destructions that leave our opponents questioning everything they thought they knew about power. The overwhelming response. When we finally counterattack, we don't just address the immediate offense. We systematically dismantle every aspect of their disrespectful behavior with evidence they never knew we were collecting. One insult becomes a comprehensive case study of their character flaws. The multi-level assault alphas punch once and hope for the best. Sigmas orchestrate multi-dimensional attacks that hit every pressure point simultaneously. We strike at their reputation, their relationships, their security, and their self-image all at once. Real-world devastation. A colleague spread rumors about my work ethic for months. When I counterattacked, I didn't just disprove his lies. I exposed his pattern of gossip to HR, revealed his productivity statistics compared to mine, and presented evidence of his inappropriate workplace behavior. He didn't just stop the rumors. He requested a transfer to avoid further embarrassment. The psychological breakdown. Our counterattacks target the mind, not just the situation. We reveal truths about our opponents that they desperately wanted to keep hidden, forcing them to confront realities they've been avoiding. The domino effect. When we strike, it creates cascading consequences that extend far beyond the original conflict. Other people who witnessed our weakness suddenly reassess everything, realizing they completely misjudged our capabilities. The warning to others. Every devastating counterattack serves as a warning to future potential aggressors. Word spreads that testing our patience is career suicide. The devastating counterattack doesn't just solve the immediate problem, it prevents future problems by establishing our reputation as someone you absolutely do not want to provoke. 6. long-term domination through tactical waiting. This is the masterpiece of Sigma strategy. Understanding that true power isn't about winning today's battle, but about positioning yourself to dominate every future conflict before it even begins. The strategic positioning. While others fight for immediate victories, Sigmas build long-term dominance. Every interaction becomes an investment in future power. Every restraint becomes compound interest on our eventual supremacy. The reputation fortress. Each time we demonstrate our strategic patience and devastating precision, we build an unassailable reputation. People learn that testing us isn't just risky, it's professional suicide. The network effect. Our tactical waiting creates a network of people who've witnessed our capabilities. They become unconscious ambassadors of our power, warning others through subtle social cues about what happens to those who underestimate us. Real-world long-term victory. I spent 2 years in a company where multiple people tried to undermine me. Instead of fighting each battle, I focused on consistent excellence and strategic documentation. When promotion time came, I wasn't just the obvious choice, I was the only choice. My former rivals found themselves working under my leadership. The compound effect. Every month you practice tactical waiting, your power compounds. Your reputation strengthens, your strategic thinking improves, and your ability to identify and exploit opportunities becomes supernatural. The ultimate position. The end game of tactical waiting is reaching a position where conflicts resolve themselves. People modify their behavior around you automatically, knowing the consequences of disrespect. Long-term domination creates a legacy that extends beyond individual victories. You become the standard by which others measure strategic thinking and controlled power. Tactical waiting isn't just about patience, it's about building an empire of influence that makes every future victory inevitable. Brothers, what we've discussed today isn't just theory, it's the blueprint for psychological supremacy that every Sigma male must master. Testing a Sigma's patience isn't just a mistake, it's an invitation to witness the most sophisticated form of dominance the human mind has ever conceived. Subscribe now, because your evolution into an unstoppable strategic force starts with understanding these principles and ends with complete life domination. Understanding the true nature of a Sigma male's patience isn't just about recognizing a personality trait, it's about witnessing one of the most sophisticated forms of psychological dominance ever developed. While the world mistakes our restraint for weakness, we're actually orchestrating a level of strategic thinking that most people's minds simply cannot comprehend. Every moment of silence, every controlled response, every seemingly passive reaction is actually a calculated move in a chess game where we're already thinking 10 moves ahead. Those who test our patience aren't just making a mistake, they're voluntarily walking into a trap that we've been constructing from the moment they showed their true colors. The beauty of the Sigma approach lies in its inevitable success. Unlike explosive confrontations that create immediate chaos or submissive responses that solve nothing, our method ensures complete and total victory, not just in the immediate situation, but in the long-term psychological dominance that follows. This is why understanding and embracing your Sigma nature is so crucial in today's world. In a society that rewards the loudest voice and the quickest reaction, being the silent strategist gives you an almost supernatural advantage over every other personality type you'll encounter. If this resonates with your soul, if you felt that recognition burning in your chest as I described the true power of Sigma patience, then you need to subscribe to this channel immediately. Why? Because we're building an army of awakened Sigma males who understand their true potential. This isn't just about self-improvement. This is about recognizing and unleashing the dominant force that's been dormant within you. Hit subscribe because your transformation into the ultimate Sigma strategist starts here. And this journey is just beginning.